In 2008, prior to reopening of the Geghanush tailing dump, the inhabitants of Geghanush had stood up to sign a petition against it. However, their voices weren't heard. And today, some years later, when every villager has already felt the impact of the operating tailing on their own skin, the villagers are coming together again to voice their issues. This time, the letter presenting regular health, environmental, and economic losses addressed to Dundee Precious Metals Kapan closed-joint stock company was signed by 184 inhabitants of Geghanush, demanding compensation for every loss they have suffered. Following the letter, the general director of the company operating the tailing dump visited the community. I was the first to receive this request, and I said I would like to meet with our villagers personally to hear about their troubles. It seems he wanted to hear about their troubles, but not to tackle them. Moreover, he was surprised and even a little bit offended that the people of Geghanush were discontented and even dared express their irritation. We have been cooperating with you for already 5 years, but I have never heard any complaint like this from you. Suddenly I receive such a letter. I'd like you to know that such work is done by money, that is the one who is organizing all this, is paid in return, and has already received money for this activity. Now I'm asking you, have you received any money? All of a sudden, somebody having received a grant moves to your village together with his family and organizes all this. It was me who organized the petition. I have moved to this village to settle down here together with my family not just recently, and I haven't settled down at this village because I won a grant. I have always been a lawyer by my nature. I come from Geghanush by my roots, and I have been against the reopening of the tailing right from the start. We should receive proper compensation, which will incorporate compensation for the damage caused to health, compensation for the damage caused to property, and compensation for the missed benefits. While Mr. Jabran says this is a grant, I will note instead that he is going to own the loans provided by EBRD, reaching up to millions of dollars. Shall I go on? Harash Jabran's statement that this protest of the villagers was promoted by an NGO in the frames of a grant inflamed the situation instantly. Mr. Jabran, why are you saying that Mr. Kapan has persuaded me? You are lying. Ivan, why aren't you speaking? Everybody, let's leave the hall. Mr. Jabran urged the villagers to submit individual letters announcing that he was definitely not going to work with any NGO, but he was ready to hear each villager one by one. Just briefly write to me. I used to have a garden here, about its size. Then attach the certificate of ownership of your garden as well as some photos to the letter. Also mention the years you used to cultivate it, how much harvest you got during these years, when you stopped cultivating it, and in addition show the place of your garden on the map. Upon obtaining certain facts, experts should approve or deny the hazardous impact of the tailing. According to Harash Jabran, this is the only way of getting compensation. Merely facts. One of the villagers opposed to this. Prove to me that it doesn't cause harm. How much effort will it take me to bring proofs? No medical institution will dare state that the odor of the tailing is the reason for headaches. Many of the villagers invited Mr. Jabran to their houses, gardens or bands to witness the facts personally, assuring that the most vivid proofs could be found there. The proof is in my barn. I have a cow that has spawned for 6 times already, but I have never seen it this way. It spawned an abnormal calf and now it has no milk to feed it. I'll milk another cow to feed the cow. All this is the result of the tailing. If you come here at 8 or 9 o'clock early in the morning, you'll see that everything is covered with smoke. They poison us. Who would you like me to mention? My Alex, who is suffering from allergy. My Jana, who due to her severe allergy can't stay here. Or Badalian's Martin's son. Never before was a boy from Geghanush rejected to perform a military service. The tailing has a severe impact. The people of Geghanush even compared the tailing with an atomic bomb, saying that before they manage to gather all the required documents, one day their village will just vanish from the earth. The difference between a tailing dam and an atomic bomb is great, isn't it? One eliminates population within an hour, while the other one may take thousands of years. You want to wait for the day to come and discover that Geghanush has vanished and just say, "You see what's happened?" Though the villagers couldn't wait for their turn to express their concerns on student performance degradation, increase in the number of various illnesses, and new deviations emerging in nature day by day, Raj Jabrayan goes on insisting on availability of relevant facts. It's impossible to present such facts. There are no instances to provide such documents. He demands this evidence database from the inhabitants. Inhabitants should explore, inhabitants should prove and bring evidence. But how can an ordinary villager bring evidence from a neutral, independent expert organization? Let them prove that when this rusty rain falls, it's not harmful for nature, for animals, people, trees and flowers. The meeting wasn't effective for both of the sides. Raj Jabrayan realized that this time the villagers were more determined and were ready to fight for their rights up to the end. The villagers in their turn became sure that Mr. Jabrayan apparently had no intention to provide any compensation. The villagers were dissatisfied because Mr. Jabrayan didn't fulfill their request, and Mr. Jabrayan in his turn was discontented as he wasn't able to persuade the people. As a well-known proverb says, many hands make light work. It's already the second time the village has come together. Now we have nothing else to do as to wait for the victory of unity and collective power of the people of Geghanush.